The next and final game that we're gonna talk about is Miami and A&M. I'm gonna let you go ahead
Okay.
and start off what you got to say
All
about
right.
that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this before we start talking. I was wrong. Okay. I was wrong. But you want to know what? That whole game, I'm gonna tell you who I give the most credit. I give credit to three people. And I'm gonna tell you why I give him credit to these three people. Mark Fletcher, the running back from Miami. You are like that. You a dog. I ain't gonna lie. You're a dog. You're him. And I always kind of like looked at him as like, we look at Miami O line, right? And we say,
Yeah,
hmm. Now, granted, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was thinking at one point, he ain't like that. That O line just OD. I did. I ain't gonna sit over here and say I
hey,
didn't say.
I want to say this real quick. Do you remember what I said about A&M defense? I
What you
said it
say?
on the podcast too. I want to know, did you remember? I said I think I said it in the predictions when we was doing before the playoffs started. I was like, A&M defense is good, but they run defense is very suspect.
Bitch.
That's
Yeah,
literally what I
yeah, yeah,
said.
yeah.
That's literally what I said.
You did say that. You
But you go
definitely
ahead.
did say that. But I'm looking at it right, and I'm like, dang, Mark Fletcher really, he's out here going fed. I'm gonna say this too. This game right here, and then I'm still talking about Miami. The three people: Malachi Tony, Mark Fletcher, and Mario Cristobal. I know everybody was like, Mario Cristobal, what he had to do? What did he do to make? I'm gonna tell you the smartest thing he did. The smartest
Yes, sir.
thing Mario Cristobal
He
did
been
was
did it.
take.
He
No, no,
been
no.
did it.
But you gotta. But you know what? Sometimes when you
But no,
get
in this game,
yeah,
yeah, give him credit.
sometimes
Give
when
him
you
credit. You
looking,
right.
yeah, sometimes when you looking and you ain't
I
got
already
no
know what you
answer,
finna say.
you ain't got no answer, you do stupid stuff, Kobe. We seen that 1,000 times. When you
That's
ain't got no
facts. That's
answer,
facts.
you
That's
should start.
facts.
You
That's
trying to
facts.
find
That's
stuff. You
facts.
start doing crazy
That's
stuff.
facts.
Hey,
That's
look,
facts. Y'all
he
and
did.
y'all look, y'all. This is not rehearsed, y'all. This
This
is
is
not
not
rehearsed. But
rehearsed.
I know what he's finna say. I know what he finna say.
The smartest thing he did was take the ball out of Carson Beck's
Yep.
hands. Carson Beck threw for 100 yards within four
Yep.
quarters. Four
Yep.
quarters of football, bro. He threw 100 yards. And you want to know why? We already beat him on the run, so why stop? That's smart, Mario Cristobal. That is smart. That is smart. You win that game that way. Special teams. My guy Tony, I don't know if you seen Bot score. He
Mm-hmm.
broke one. I said, bro, he is changing the game. And Malachi Tony, I'm so sorry because you got that sorry quarterback over there, and y'all couldn't score on that drive that when you got them all the way down there. I apologize, brother. I know you was sick. You took a fumble, and he fumbled. But look, that's how you get them back. You went back, scored. Hey,
Yep.
you a
Yep.
dog. He's a dog.
He a dog. He a
He's a
dog.
dog.
He a dog.
He's a
He a
dog.
dog.
Hey, he better.
For
Hey, you
sure.
went through more controversy that game than the quarterback his damn self.
Damn sure did.
He did. He had to go overcome a fumble and come back because he already knew in order to win this game, I got to score. I got to.
Mm-hmm.
Some way, somehow, I have to
Yep.
score. He did it. And that's all it took for him to do it. He could have scored twice. He could have scored twice. Real talk.
Yep.
But Miami, that was good. Hey, that was a good win by y'all. Like I said, it didn't to me honestly, it didn't matter who was gonna win because I already know what's gonna happen next. But we ain't gonna get into that now. But
Yeah.
for A&M, Marcel Reed, I want to sit here and say, I don't know why early in the season I thought, and when I was watching the game, Kobe, I said he gonna score eventually. Damn, I mean, you ain't got no choice, brother. You ain't got no choice. You gonna score eventually. Marcel Reed, you are so bad. I ain't gonna lie. You're so bad. You're bad. I ain't gonna lie. I know my quarterback did not play how I wanted him to this year, y'all. I swear he did not. But that right there, that was bad. That was a bad performance, bro. You didn't do nothing right. I mean, nothing for 4 quarters. You didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. They sat there. Mike Elko, you get some credit on that too, because you see what's going on, and you still say we're gonna live and die by Marcel Reed. You do that every week when he get in a tight game. We're gonna live and die by him. Ever since that South Carolina game, Cole, they've been living and dying by him. They've been living and dying by him. I ain't mad at it. I swear I ain't. If your quarterback show you something, y'all, you ain't got no choice but to trust him. You ain't got no choice. I get it. But you gotta understand, bro. When you see and you know in that game on the line, you cannot sit there and say, Marcel Reed saved me. You can't do it, bro. He can't do it. He can't save him. He just cannot save him. Like he can't. And then too, I'm gonna say this: the running back, from A&M. I don't know how many times. How many times they run? They didn't run the ball a lot that game,
I
did they?
just looked at it. Yeah, Marcel had the most carries with 15. Every other running back has 7, 7, 4, 2.
But
And
I'm
2
not
was
mad
from
because guess
concession
what?
though.
They couldn't run on him.
They couldn't run
They
the
couldn't
ball.
run the
They couldn't
ball
run the
on him.
ball. Yeah.
So I ain't even mad. I'm not mad about that. I wish so. Hey, like we always say though, bro, with that run, bro. Hey, you gotta establish it, even if it ain't working.
Yeah.
Even if it ain't working, bro,
You got to, bro.
you gotta keep the defense. You gotta keep them
Especially in
honest,
the
bro.
playoffs.
Yeah, you gotta keep them
Especially
honest.
in the playoffs.
But that was, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, that was A&M. That was bad. Concepcion Corver. I'm gonna say this real quick. Concepcion got his ass hit. Did you see that punt return where he got hit?
Yeah. Put on the splatter. Put on the platter, I mean.
Yeah, yeah, Lord Jesus. But y'all boys, I mean, y'all been that team all year, so I mean, it ain't really. It's really up to Marcel at the
But
end of the
y'all,
day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what I said, y'all. And again, you go back and look at the prediction. This ain't even about me being right or wrong, about Shaw being wrong or him being right or about him being wrong. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I gotta fix
Give me
my.
1 second.
You probably gotta do the same thing I'm over here doing. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'm back. But yeah, this ain't about me being right and Shaw being wrong or Shaw being right and me being wrong. But when I said, because we did a prediction, I said, man, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to pick A&M. I did. And I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna pick Miami. Because I said, and I'm gonna give you exactly what I said. And y'all can go back and look at the video.
Yeah.
I literally said, this game gonna come down between Carson Beck and Marcel Reed.
In
I
that
said it's gonna
video,
come whoever had
y'all, is college football predictions too. If y'all want to go back and look at the fat check.
yep, college football predictions. Yep, facts. I said whoever had the least turnovers is gonna win that game. And I said, bro, as crazy as it sound, and I think you said, oh, it's definitely gonna be Carson Beck. I think you said that. I said, bro, as crazy as it sound, I think Carson Beck gonna have the least turnovers. And before you know what I'm saying, was saying what you said, I said, but this is why Carson Beck is gonna have the least turnovers, y'all. Because I had been said it weeks ago. Miami, since that Louisville game, has took the ball out of Carson Beck hands. Back to what you were saying, giving credit to Mario Cristobal. They took. I literally said, I said, Shaw, they not gonna allow Carson Beck to throw a pick. But my Elko, he gonna live and die by Marcel Reed. He been doing it all year.
Yeah.
He been doing it all year. And
Yeah.
I've been saying Marcel Reed ain't played good since week 3 when they played Notre Dame. When they came all the way back, put up 40-some points. That's the last good game Marcel Reed has played. The only good game Marcel Reed has played this year. After that game, he been playing very mediocre to bad for the rest of the year. So I just knew it, bro. I just knew it. Like Carson Beck, I mean, let's keep it a buck. Miami wasn't doing nothing but throwing screens. Screen right, Malachi Tony. Screen left, which they've been doing for the past couple weeks. Screen, screen, screen. Hell, Malachi Tony been throwing more touchdowns than Carson Beck. More passes, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just knew that Miami was not gonna put him in jeopardy of throwing or turning over the ball. It just
Yeah.
wasn't gonna happen. Marcel Reed, he had 3 turnovers. He had 2 picks in the fumble. You know, and on top of that, Miami kicker missed like 3 or 4 field goals. So the game
But
really supposed to be out of hand.
in Miami, y'all kick and A&M. I don't know, and I'm gonna tell you, and I don't know why all these schools with all this money, I don't get it. Why
Don't
y'all
got a
don't
kicker.
have no kicker? Y'all ain't the only one. Y'all are not the only. It's a lot of schools with a lot of money who
Yeah,
don't have no, and I don't understand why. That's like Texas A&M. Y'all bad. Texas A&M too. Oh, they're bad. They're
yeah.
awful. You heard. I don't know if you heard what the announcer said during the game, and I'm listening. I'm like, huh? He said, yeah, Mike Elko talked about the kicker that they have, and he said, literally, who looks like they don't have confidence, that's who I'm putting in. So basically, if you go in and you fuck up, you out, the next one back in. You fuck up, we're gonna take you out, put the other one back in. I said, boy, this is awful. This is awful.
It's bad. And too, not to rain on Marcel Parade, but you do know Marcel was out partying that same night. He was out partying, I think, that same night or the night after Shaw in
The
the
kids.
club. It was either a club or a party with a bottle. But you right there is what you just said is why I do not bet on college football. Because you're betting on 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 19-year-old kids. Not only is you betting on kids, but you're betting on these kids that's getting paid millions of dollars who don't have to work hard, who don't have to you're not work. I know it. I know, and I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, but I know. 9 times out of 10, majority. I'm not saying all, but majority of these kids and students in college football, they're not putting in no after work pain, after practice. They're not doing it. They're not on receivers, not on jug machine. Ryan Williams, get on the jug machine. You're not on. You're not catching 100 pass. You know all the stories that we heard growing up from NFL receivers. Yeah, we was doing this after practice, or we was doing this. 100 catching the ball, catching 100 balls, or catching 1,000 balls, or running up hills, or doing extra
Extra
work
work. Extra
outside of
work.
because them boys
Hmm.
had to grind. They had to grind to
To
get
get
to the
that money.
league to get a
Hmm.
bag. Now these kids is getting bags in college. Hell, they getting in certain states. They getting bags in high school.
Yeah.
These kids is getting this stuff, and they don't have to work as hard like they used to have to work hard back in the day to get that bag. So now, what we do? We lose. We go on to the club. What is you doing? And I'm not.
You
What is
need
you
to
doing
be.
in the club after
Mm.
a loss? Do you know what we did after a loss? Bro, I was hurt after a loss in high school. I was outside at night after a loss in the yard, putting in work, putting in pain. I don't want to lose again. Sore loser. I admit it. I'm a sore loser. And anybody that say a sore loser to be a sore, hey, it's bull crap. Nigga, you should hate to lose. You should hate to lose. I don't give a that's the most dumbest. I ain't gonna say dumbest, but that's the most bad
Yeah.
thing somebody can tell you. It's
Hmm.
okay to lose. Is it? No, it's not. It's not. You should hate to lose, bro. You should
You
not
should.
just lose and then just shrug it off and just be like, okay, it is what it is. I might go to the club. Or I might, you know what I'm saying, go to the party. I might go buy some jewelry. Or I might buy it. You know what I'm saying? Not, and
Hmm.
again, not to rain on Marcel Reed parade, because this ain't just about Marcel Reed. This is about the whole college football. NIL. This is what NIL is doing, bro. That's why I said when NIL first started, it's going you really gonna have to see who the coaches is, bro, because you really gonna have to coach for real. But back to the game, back to the game. My bad, y'all had it went on that little banter, but back to the game, back to the game. Really, real live though. I know we talk about Carson Beck. I know we talk about Fletcher. Fletcher, you definitely did your thing. Fletcher, you definitely did your thing. Shout out Fletcher. Shout out Mario Cristobal, like you said, for leaning in on him. That's another thing I said. A&M running game. I think, bro, A&M gave up 100 yards a couple times on the ground this year. That's why I said, bro, A&M run defense is very suspect. Cause they gave up 100 yards on about six. I know at least about 6 running backs this year. So I kind of figured Fletcher was gonna have a day, not 172 yards a day, but I knew he was gonna have a day. But shout out Fletcher, shout out Miami, shout out Malachi Tony. But this ain't about Hey, this game was won in the line of scrimmage, bro. This game was won in the line of scrimmage. Ruben Bain, K. Scott, them demons on that Miami D
Demons.
line.
Demons.
Oh, nah. Granted, I know Marcel Reed, you had a bad game. It was due to the fact. Oh my lord, Ruben. Did you hear Ruben Bain said after the game?
Oh
He
yeah,
said,
he
"Did
played
you?
with the A&M dude
You
said,
seen
yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some dudes can just talk. They can't back it up though. Popping it after the game
Popping.
on live.
Popping it.
Oh my, straight up dog. But you're going top five or top. You ain't gonna know how. You ain't gonna know no lower than top 10 in the draft. But you definitely should be going top five. This game was won in the trenches. Miami O line with Fletcher having them all them yards. That also contributes to Miami O line. They was winning the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. The D line was terrorizing Marcel
Terrorizing.
Reed.
Terrorizing.
He he was back there running for his life. Running for his life. That's another reason why they couldn't get no running game started. So they was leaning on Marcel Reed, which you don't really want to do. You don't want to lean on Marcel Reed. Nah, but you got to lean on Marcel Reed because I can't run the ball. And he had the most rushing yards with 15 carries. It wasn't but 27 rushing yards. And he ran it 15 times, Shaw. 15 carries for 27 yards.
Facts.
Hey man, this game was won by Miami in the trenches, bro. In the trenches, Ruben Bain, bro, a dog. He had 3 sacks, bro. 3 sacks, like 5 tackles for loss. K. Scott 2 sacks. Thomas had a half a sack. I think the DB had a sack and a half, bro. That was torture. They was torching that A&M O line was, oh my lord. That was going to work. That was going to work. But shout out Miami, man. That was a defensive masterclass.
Yeah.
The first game was just a good game, period. But that game was a defensive masterclass, bro. It came down to the last play. Marcel Reed, you have to make that pass. Granted, I knew. I look, I'm on the game with Greg. I said, Greg, I ain't gonna lie, Greg. Marcel Reed finna throw a pick. I knew indicators, y'all, indicators.
They
He almost threw one. He almost threw one that drive earlier. It went straight through the dude's hands. I said, Greg, after that play right there, he definitely gonna throw a pick. Last play of the game, he throw a pick, and the pass was there. The throw was there. If he make an accurate throw, that's a touchdown. It just ain't make an accurate throw. And it was a good decision, just a bad throw. It's a bad throw. But
I knew it when they throw that I don't know if you seen, but I think it was what's my boy name? Was it Craven? Corver? When he threw it in the back of the end zone, but he didn't get his feet in. He caught it, but he didn't get his feet in. And I said he finna
yeah,
throw
I
a
know you from.
pick.
I seen
I said he finna he finna throw. I said because the opportunities are so in games like that,
Slimming.
they're very
Yeah.
slim, very slim. I already knew. I said, bro, there's no way he's gonna be able to overcome even that. I said, bro, if he don't, he's either gonna have to get it in there by him making throwing a dot, cause they ain't letting him run. He ain't running in there.
But that's what I wanted A&M to do on that last. When they first got down there, it was like 33 seconds left. I said, bro, A&M should do a 5 wide. Granted, I don't think they had a timeout. They maybe had one timeout, but you was close enough to the end zone to get up and run another play.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, bro, I think these boys said 5 wide on my Marcel Reed QB draw. That's what I was thinking.
That's
QB
what I would
draw.
have did.
Granted, like I said, somebody might be saying that, well, that's stupid. The clock gonna start if you don't get in the end zone, the clock gonna keep running, blase blase, which is fast. But again, you're close enough in the end zone to regroup again and spike the ball or go for another play. Granted, if you spike the ball, okay, boom, now it's third down. It came down to fourth down anyway. You know what I'm saying? It came down to fourth down anyway.
Right.
Hindsight, we know that now. We probably never know that. Whatever. But that was that throw. I mean, it was a good throw. It was a great decision. Not a good throw, a great
Great
decision.
decision. Yeah.
But it was a tight window throw, but he anticipated it. It just had to be to the right. It had to be to the right side, a couple more inches. But that was a good play by the defense of Miami, the DB. He jumped it. Ball was a little bit to the left. He jumped it. and it was ball game, bro. That was a master class though. That was a great defensive game. I do say this, like you said, we ain't gonna get into the predictions of next week and all that, y'all. That's gonna be the next episode that we get into the predictions and show y'all the round two of the playoffs and all that and all that. Miami, I don't see y'all winning next round. I'm just say this real fast. I don't see y'all winning next round with Carson Beck doing them screens. I do not see it. You will have to do more than that. That's all I'm gonna say. But shout out to Miami, shout out to the U, shout out all that. Did you see Michael Irvin putting belts to the trash can, bro? He had a Texas A&M jersey. Michael Irvin, the fool, bro. This man had
Bruh.
a Texas A&M jersey on the trash can, putting
Hey,
belt to the trash can, bro.
yeah, I would love to see what their reaction. I don't know if you seen it, but Miami, oh yeah, we gonna do this we gonna do this with the next week. Ohio State, yeah. Like I said, we ain't gonna talk too much on it. But boy, when you talk like that, and you got people over here that's mad that they ain't won
Mm,
awards and stuff, and you got people over here that's
mm,
hungry and got something to prove,
mm, mm.
we'll talk
Yeah,
about that later.
yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that later. Um, but again, y'all, shout out to Miami, man. Shout out to Alabama. Shout out to Oregon. Shout out to Ole Miss, man. Them all the teams that won, they advanced in the second round of the playoffs.